Bush and me, we're back, baby. It's week 2 of the playoffs, divisional round. We were pretty hot last week. I was 5-1. You were 4-2. Some of your picks you went without the spread, but we both lost the Steeler game. I had the Rams pulling the upset. You had Seattle, but it was a good week, man. What'd you think?
I thought it was solid. I mean, pretty much everything that we said would happen did happen. I did not, though, see that debacle in Pittsburgh turning out that way. I mean, I feel like the Browns kind of just caught the perfect storm of turnovers and the Pittsburgh Steelers mishaps, and they turned all the Pittsburgh Steelers unfortunes into the Browns' fortunes. And I thought it was solid by the Browns. They came out with a lot of emotion. I think they had a little bit of bulletin board material as well. I thought that was solid. You know, in Seahawks, it's the same thing year in and year out. You know, when are they going to invest in some more linemen that can get the job done? You know, because it really seems like, I mean, in those three matchups with the Rams this year, I think they've given up, 16 sacks? I mean, that's not going to get it done. And then it's come back to bite them in the behind again. And, yeah, those were the two matchups that we were kind of on the fence about, but it was an exciting weekend. It was some good football for sure.
It was a great weekend, man, and the Rams beat the brakes off of them. It's one of those games where I wanted to be like, I told you so, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad, so I'm just going to take the win and keep it moving.
Just be humble, son.
I don't have that word in my vocabulary. So now we got week 2, Saturday football again. I love my Saturday football. First game is the Rams at the Packers. Packers are favored here by 6.5. What do you see happening?
Well, I'm coming off of emotions when I'm looking at this game. I think it's going to be a very competitive matchup. Here's something that I did hear, though, and it's pretty interesting. The Rams do have the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL. They get after the quarterback, and they play the pass extremely well. Obviously, they play the run well as well. But Aaron Rodgers is 0-2 in the playoffs versus number 1 ranked defenses. And he's facing a number 1 ranked defense this week. But here's the big question mark, though.
Stat man,
I'm taking over your role here. But Aaron Donald did get banged up last week. He sacked Russell Wilson, kind of rolled him around, and he hit his ribs. I don't believe he came back in the game after that. Aaron Donald is going to be the key. If he's not 100%, even though he says he's 100%, but he did not practice Thursday, he did not practice Wednesday. So let's see how that pans out. Because if they don't have a healthy Aaron Donald up front, I believe their whole defense is changed. It's going to be an exciting game. But I'm going for the Rams. They're going to go up to Lambeau. I do think the Packers are the better team. I do think the Packers are going to win, but I want the Rams to win. Do you understand me? Because I got this scenario in my head, that I want to play out. I want the Rams to win. We're going to get into the Saints game later, but I want them boys. I want them boys to go back down to the Superdome. You feel me? So,
I hear you.
Yeah, give it to me. What do you think? How do you think this one's going to go?
So, like you said, if Aaron Donald's not playing, it's going to be hard to back that team because of what he adds. Not even just the plays he makes, but he causes double teams. He creates stuff for other players. So you got to make sure he's playing. But then you look at the other side of the ball. You got Aaron Rodgers, who most likely is going to be your MVP. I think he's taken it personal this year that they went out and drafted Jordan Love in the offseason, and he's given a big to management. Mm-hmm. And I think he's on a mission. Throw in Devontae Adams, career year, broke all the receiving records, broke Sterling Sharp's records from 20 years ago. He's got 115 catches this year, 18 touchdowns. If you had him in fantasy, you're probably holding a trophy right now. Right. And he only played 14 games. Aaron Jones, Aaron Jones, another fantasy stat stuffer. That team is just stacked this year. It's a team of destiny. They had a bye last week. They're playing at home in cold, frigid Lambeau Field in January. Mm-hmm. And they're only favored by 6.5 points. It's less than a touchdown. You look at a similar team, the Chiefs, they're favored by 10. I just think Vegas sees the value in this Rams team. They control the ball. They don't turn it over. They're 5-4 against the spread on the road this year, so they're keeping games close. I think they're going to keep this one close. Vegas has this over-under at 45.5. It's by far the lowest on the board out of anybody. So Vegas thinks it's going to be low scoring. I think in order for the Rams to win this game, it needs to be low scoring. They're not going to win a shootout up in Lambeau against Aaron and the boys. I'm going to go out on a limb here, though. I'm not waiting for Aaron Donald's injury report. I'm going to say take the Rams and the points. Packers are going to win the game 24-20.
That's a good one right there. Here's another concern, though. Bakhtiari is out, okay? Aaron Rodgers backside. I'm not going to say it's not protected, but you don't have the all-pro and Bakhtiari there. You are going to have, from what I saw, Billy Turner stepping in. I don't think he gives you the same type of protection, but I also think Billy Turner has stepped in. He's actually earned himself a nice contract in Green Bay, but he stepped in and he's played well. That's going to be what I'm going to keep my eye on, is that pressure off Aaron Rodgers' backside to see how he's going to do, especially if Floyd, because Floyd's going to go, but is Aaron Donald going to go? How are they going to protect him? Like I said, I don't even care about the score. I had this scenario in my head of how I want things to play out. I want the Rams to go in there and I want them to get the job done. But, if you are putting money on this game, I would not bet against the Green Bay Packers in the elements and everything that they have going there. I think this is it's a Packers win if you're going to put some money on it. But if you're going to listen to me and my emotional take on it, I'm going for the Rams.
Somebody wants to bet on your emotions, your emotional roller coaster.
Well, the rest of the games, I'll give you facts, but that one I just had to, I had to, like I told you, man, I got something playing out in my head that I want to have.
I hear you. Haven't gotten over that last game yet.
I have not.
The last game, the nightcap Saturday, Ravens at Bills. Vegas has it as a 2.5-point swing. Bills are favored, less than a field goal there. They think there's going to be a tight matchup. Bush, what do you have in this one?
This is a tough one for me to call, to be honest with you. I feel like your quarterbacks kind of match up the same, but they can both take off and run if their passing options do not look good. Lamar got over the playoff hump, and I really honestly think he and the rest of the Baltimore Ravens staff, or not staff, but the rest of his team have the ability, have the players to go up to Baltimore to get the job done. I really, truly feel that way. The Ravens defense is going to be key in how effective they are when it comes to running the ball. They held Derrick Henry to 40 yards last week. Their defense is stepping up. They're taking away what these, what the opposing team is really good at doing. I like the Ravens here. I'm a fan of what the Ravens have done, but it's going to be a couple key matchups, man. Like the Ravens third down versus the Bills third down. I feel like that's a wash. But the Ravens have struggled versus the run game this year. They get, not last week, but I'm talking about throughout the whole season.
I was going to say.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, not last week, but, throughout the whole season, they've shown that they've struggled. Maybe they picked it up and find a way to get the job done a little bit better come to playoff time. But I'm trying to give some kind of edge to the Bills, but I'm really liking what the Ravens are doing right now.
So, I'm from Baltimore, born and raised. Ravens are my squad. But I tried to look at this game subjectively, take my emotion out of it, as you would say. It might snow. It's going to be windy, but it might snow Saturday night in Buffalo. Lamar's never played in snow.
South Florida boy.
But the Bills didn't impress me last week. I mean, the Colts could have won that game. You do one or two plays that went the other way. I mean,
100%.
Your boy was wide open in the end zone. Phillip Rivers puts a little more air into that fourth down.
Yeah.
The Bills didn't really impress me, but I got two key factors. I dug in and out of this game. I'm looking for stats. You know me. Two key factors that I thought about. First one, this is the first time ever that two teams in the divisional round are playing after played last week. Usually there's home field advantage and there's a week rest, right? So you have 2 weeks to prepare for a team that's coming into your house to play you. The Bills had to play last week because of this new playoff format. They didn't have 2 weeks to prepare against the Ravens. I think, don't discount that here. I think that's going to play into this. I think the Ravens are the better team right now. They're on a 6-game winning streak. And I think that week of rest that Buffalo did not get, you're going to see fatigue in this game. They're not just going to walk into their own house. I mean, they're not going to let the Ravens come into their house with a week of rest. That's number one. Number two, you remember the game last year, Baltimore was playing the Titans. And the whole week leading up to it, you had our offense and defensive coordinators were both interviewing for other positions. You had everybody talking about the Super Bowl. No one was focused on the Titans. Well, you look at the Bills now this year. People are talking about how good this Bills team is, and they could match up well against the Chiefs. You look at the Bills offensive coordinator, Brian Dabbles. He's getting rumored as the guy in Philly. Leslie Frazier's getting thrown around there. I just think the whole focus of this whole team isn't on the Ravens right now. There's a lot going on in Buffalo. Not to mention, my spreads. Vegas has us at 2.5. It could easily be 3, but they're baiting you with less than a field goal here. I'm taking the Ravens. I think they could win this game big too. I don't think it's going to be close.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. I just think, the Ravens on defense have to do a really good job of containing the play action when you're talking about the Bills, okay? Because the Ravens definitely struggle versus the play action pass, and the Buffalo Bills have play action passed 182 times this year. So I know that they're looking at that weakness on the Buffalo Bills coaching staff side. So I think if the Ravens can come out with the same intensity that they did last week, put a clamp on Diggs, make sure you contain Beasley. I think they can do that with their DBs. I have the Ravens going up to Buffalo and winning this game, just like you said that.
Let's go. Yeah. So we both like the Rams with the points. We both like the Ravens with the points. Last week, the Dogs were barking, hoo, hoo, hoo. They were 3-0 on Saturday. Let's get 2 more today. On Saturday. Lock them in. Bush and me, week 2. Let's get it.
Bam, bam.